Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening.
He's all right.
Laguna Madre Water District Notice Workshop Meeting, June 14th, 2017. Notice is hereby given of a workshop of the Board of Directors of the district to be held at 105 Fort Road, Floresville, Texas, on the 14th day of June 2017, at the hour of 5 p.m. for consideration of the business of the board below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on June 9th, 2017 at 8:15 a.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and each government code 551041551050. The copy furnished to the county clerk in Cameron County, Texas. We do have the presence of a quorum. All board members are present. And you please have everyone stand for the pledge of allegiance, invocation and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You got Joel? Still do.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for giving us this day, Lord. We ask you that you be among us, Lord, as we make these decisions that will benefit the citizens of Floresville, Tapari, and Laguna, Lord. We ask you to just give us a good understanding of all that is discussed, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for again letting us meet here in good conscience and good faith, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Joel.
Today's workshop agenda is discussion of the AMI meters system.
Sorry.
Okay, we're going to be discussing the meters projects, and as you remember, most of you, we met on April 29 to see the need of the meter replacement system. We have met with several vendors and looking over the options that we have, and we were trying to look what is it that it was out there. So we requested the information, the RFI, and on the RFI what we're saying is like, okay, this is how many meters we have, how much it's going to cost us. Not everybody provides the cost because it's just an RFI. It's just basically saying what type of quality of meters they can offer. It's about the functions. And just let me tell you that this is a project that is going to take from 9 months to a year. It's a lengthy process, and also it's something that is going to help us a lot, basically, to increase revenues and decrease operations and maintenance expenses. So far, the main need is because we have constant issues, which is unread meters. We're not able to read all the actual meters from the customers. We go there, like we send the meter readings, but as of, let's say in the month of May, 993 meters were not read. And that's a lot of meters. That means that we are sending the guys out there a lot. And that's, of course, because there was issues, abnormal reading. That means that the system was not picking up the meter reading. Exactly. So we have to send the guys over there, and sometimes we have to do some sort of maintenance, and sometimes we have to replace the meter. So that's why this is the main purpose.
Do you have any for those 993 that were not read? Do you have any hard figures as far as how many meters were replaced, how many were transponders issued?
I can tell you that from the last meters that we have replaced, it's about 200 per year. 200 per year, and every time it seems that it's more of those meters getting replaced. So that means that we go and we fix a lot of trash meters. So basically, like for example, on South Padre Island, we have about 2,500 customers. Last year, 1,200 customers had issues. Either it could be with leaks or it could be with meters problems.
5% or 90 meters out of 2,500, so 5%.
1,200. It's 1,290 out of the 2,600,000. So it's more than half.
Once again, how many of those were transponders issues, and how many were actually meters?
The 1,290 were meter issues. It could be faulty meters, it could be replaced, it could be, some of them, they just needed like a, some sort of a small issue, like a component, a splice kit, or, some sort of maintenance, but not specifically buying a whole meter. So 1,200 out of the 2,500, basically, kind of like half of them from South Padre Island. Okay, so yes.
I'm still not clear on the two questions were asked, and they said, why weren't the meters read? And you say there's faulty meters, and then you're saying, what was the reasons of these meters not being read? And you're saying, there's these numbers that show that they're a problem. You address this as a meter problem, and what we're addressing here at this workshop is the advanced meter
Infrastructure?
infrastructure, and it's not what I'm going to call the body or hard part of the meter. That's one component, and what you're saying, what I understand is there's a problem with the automated reader of an electronic component in the transmitter on the meter. So the problem, I think that was the question that Jeff was getting to. You may not have those numbers there, but it's important to us when we're trying to make a decision
Of course.
what's the best interests of the district, and where's the failure, and what components that really need to be done. We're looking at a different meter reading operation here now. So again, we're separating from what I'm going to call the body of the meter, the mechanical part, thank you, and then the transmitting part of it we're going to be discussing, and that's what you're going to be telling us that I've read so far, where the advantages of having that automated system.
Right.
But so we're looking for the numbers today that, hopefully there's some dollars associated with that. That's a loss to the district.
Of course, just in the fact of sending the guys out there, that means that we created last year about 1,200 service orders, and the cost on those service orders, it was about $400,000. So.
Just go on with your presentation.
400,000. For fiscal year 2016 in service orders related to meters, $400,000. Every time that we send the guys, we're talking about, the meter that is getting replaced, also the overhead and everything that goes into that.
What is that math per meter?
$333 per call. 2 hours.
Everything that goes in there. So last year, I have the detail on all the service orders that we spent last year. So, as you know, like the water meter basically is kind of like the cash register. If we don't have a accurate cash register, it's not going to give us a proper number. We're not going to be able to bill properly. And the problem with this is that sometimes, let's say that if we have so many issues with the abnormals, with the unread, with the zero consumptions, that means that the guys are not able to fulfill the request of, giving us all the information that we need and have ready all this information for the billing. So sometimes what we have to do is some sort of an average with a customer billing, and then this is something that on the next month is going to get kind of like even out. But in the meantime, sometimes we have these issues where customers get a high water bill, and of course they get really upset if they get a high water bill, and we just need to make sure that we send for the people, for the meter readers, for profiles and stuff like that. So it takes a lot of time consuming, and it costs a lot to the district. All these phone calls and not having an accurate billing system.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, it might be helpful that Ms. Anwana is presenting, as I referred to our last workshop, the dollars and the customer service aspect of it. We're asking some field questions. and it might be helpful if Joel or somebody else were here
Oh, he's here.
to be up here and kind of field some of those questions that we're bringing forward, to be there to, be more in this workshop.
Okay, so,
He's available for any, questions that y'all might have.
yeah,
He's there. Come up here, Joel, right here, so he can see you.
90 meters have to be, do they have to be in red, did they have maintenance problems, was it sensors, the meters? Tell me about the 1,290 meters. There's just some form of maintenance or whatever.
Okay, I think, what we're trying to say is, we go out and read, we drive by, okay? We load it up into the system, we download it, and then during the
Just picking up.
start looking at the numbers and whatnot. It's red flagged by the computer, so then it starts highlighting. At this point in time, there's so many that for whatever reason, the transmitter, the batteries are going out, the crabs, believe it or not, have to become issues. There's
Ants.
people doing the weed eaters, all the kind of different issues come up. So then the guys have to go back and physically verify the meter number and the reading and the address. And you might think, well, what's taking so long? Well, so we don't... I'm sorry?
Finding it sometimes.
Well, the thing is...
that's another one. Yes, that's another one.
But sometimes, so we're making sure that we don't overbill a customer or we get an accurate, the guys actually go to a spigot, make sure, okay, that, it's not just verifying, and, okay, this is reading and let's go. There's a little process that we've implemented to make sure that the customer doesn't get overbilled, or underbilled for that matter. Right now, the way it is, to be quite honest, for the most part, meters are okay, although some are not coming back as good as I had said earlier. Okay, that is a fact. The thing is, right now we're putting money into a system that's antiquated. I think, Mr. Rolla, I think you had a leak back a few months back.
My neighbor.
Of your neighbor? Okay. With this system, we'd be able to know right now. With the fixed system, we'd be able to know right now. And you could have an alert on your phone, whatever, let you know, hey, or, you have busy, all you guys are out of the house for most of the part of the day. Something goes on, you get an alert. Something's going on at the house, somebody's at the house, something broke, you can call us, and we even get that alert, and we can call you if you like. But
New technology will allow.
Yes.
the customer-
Yes.
Yes.
It's current, it's out there.
Yes, I've spoken to a couple of guys out there.
Available online, user usage and.
Yes.
So, a follow-up to Mr. Thomas's, about the 1,200 something meters. It seems like most of those issues were related to the communication aspect.
Well.
Of the system,
again, it
yes.
goes back to,
Sending unit, whatever you want to call it.
yes, it
Yes.
goes back to verifying, okay, now it comes back with tamper or something, so we gotta go back, check it, test it, there's a process we follow before we actually go into that.
It's a whole list of the issues that can come up, and I have the list of every single issue that we had, and just on South Padre Island, like I said, it was 1,200 issues that we needed to take care of with personnel, and all of that cost money to the district.
What is the new proposal that Google is going to do?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what we need to
That's
go.
where we're trying to go.
Exactly.
Have more
That's,
time up, so we need to
right,
get to
so
that.
that's the big issue with the other one.
Meters, you're not,
I'm sorry?
we'll put new sensors, new sensor, whatever you want to call it.
Transmitter,
Put a new
it's transmitter.
I mean,
The thing is, excuse me, what you're asking is that we, let's say, one system with the Badger meter, we can.
What we need to keep in mind is it's a system that is already 10 years old, so we need to make sure that we're not investing into it and something that is already old.
The Badger meters, we can use, Badger's good with the AMR and the AMI, which is,
We can probably use some or most of the meters, and I think that's the next step, where the vendors will say like, okay, what is suitable for the district, what is it that the capabilities of the system can offer, and all of that. So that will be pretty much the next step.
To answer your question,
Yeah.
Thomas, you can use the technology of one meter company with Badger for the most part. Here comes the problem now.
It's a 10-year-old technology.
But if something happens, Badger's gonna say, oh, no, it's the technology people are gonna know it's the meter. So then we're caught in the middle.
Yes.
they're to each other.
Yes, sir.
But Mr. Thomas also pointed out was that this national meter versus Badger, I think they do offer the AMI.
Yes, sir, they do.
And it goes straight on those.
Yes, sir.
Well, the difference with Badger is that you have to put connectors to get the AMI, and there's another company, but like that's depending on whatever you decide at the end. The other company is something that is already integrated because it's newer technology. So it's either you want to have two items, that is going to give you that access, because at the end of the day, what it is, the meter, with the AMI, you're talking about having those two connections, where the system is going to be able to receive information directly from the meter and send back information, because we're going to be able to communicate. That's the big difference. And also, I think that the biggest difference and the biggest benefit for the district is being able to pinpoint those distribution leaks, because when we have distribution leaks, it costs money, it can create a chaos, and it's something that we just kind of like buying a leak system. I think that would be great, and that's something, that if you actually look into the amount of service orders that we're spending and the amount of people, working on those service orders, I think that just with that, it's actually something that is going to give us a big benefit.
Going to this RFI snapshot,
Yes.
customer information
Yes.
snapshot, we got
Third from the last page.
3, 4, 5, we got 7.
Yes, if you allow me.
We got Ferguson is the only one that offers everything there, but then Aquametrics says AMI yes, National Meter says AMI yes. They all say AMI except for AquaWorks.
Right.
So, but then, two-way communications, no, firmware upgrades, no, everything is no for all these other ones except for Ferguson.
Well, what happened is that, that's what I'm talking about, that on the old ones, you can do it because they do have the AMI. The only thing is that you have to adapt the meter. So it's just a buying an adapter that they can sell it. So basically, let's say that you want to keep them with Badger, well, then we can just add the adapters, the connectors, or whatever we may need. That will be an option. Yes, yes.
Yes,
Well, how many different types of meters are we using right now?
Right now, we primarily have Badger.
Badger, no,
We do have a handful of sensors out there that were never changed out, but those we test and they're good meters because they're all lubricated. They don't
Who?
sensor meter.
That's one of the major providers as well.
Aquametric.
Yes.
And mostly those are the larger meters,
Yeah, yeah.
the largest meters like
They're
6.
if I'm not mistaken, they're all 6-inch meters on the sensor.
Okay, so those are the big size.
Got it.
Mr. Chairman, as one board member, I would like to see, as far as what Badger could do, is to get us up to the AMI standard where it's two-way communication.
Yes.
Let's get a price on that. None of these companies, we don't have any pricing on there, so it's kind of like.
Well, yeah, exactly, because out of this, what my next step is going into competitive bidding, and I would like to choose at least 3 vendors from the list. Of course, Badger will be the first one because, we have them in there. We already have the system.
And I hate throwing meters away if they're meters.
No, of course not. No.
What I understand and well confirmed was that we can use this, I'm gonna call it remote meter reading system on the existing Badger meters. We don't have to take and swap out
Well, we might have an
everything.
issue with, he said,
Who's
Right.
if there is an issue with them.
Who's accountable?
Well, then that's the information we need, because the only one, Ferguson really has the full checklist here. And if they're compatible with that, and one question, I know we're running out of time, one question I'm gonna have on the 3 of whomever you select, one question I'd like to have is that, we need to test drive.
Well,
We need to be able to take and put some of these on some of the meters, and we need to test drive.
Of course.
that being said, we did do a pilot program with HydroPro. We retrofitted, we actually got their meters and retrofitted the transmitters so we could, get the reading. And it's been problem after problem after problem. So if you had asked me, I would not recommend doing that because
Mhm.
Ferguson should be able to tell you if they will work on Badger meters.
Oh,
They would
yes.
give you that
Yes, definitely.
information.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when we go into the competitive bidding. Competitive bidding,
So we
exactly.
need some prices to go along with this, like you referred to the Cadillac and.
Exactly,
and
that's,
Ford.
Well, the only thing with competitive bidding,
You have to make us a recommendation. Well, what would you recommend?
Start from ground up.
I'm sorry?
Start from ground up.
What's Oil's recommendation?
I would say either Mueller or Badger.
what I would recommend myself too is, on the competitive bidding, we can specify what we want from Badger, you know, and then if everybody else can comply with the same specification, like retrofit what we have, the meters, and, that's the way we can get the prices, otherwise they're not gonna give us prices until we bid it.
Right.
Okay, well, so why don't y'all pick three, Mueller and Badger, and then maybe, what are the other, another
Hmm?
one? So offer bids for.
The competitive bidding.
For everything, meters and transponders.
Plus.
And then do a separate bid
Mhm.
just for the transponders, to retrofit on the Badger.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
they come up.
Yep, we can do that.
That way we can make some intelligent decisions.
Okay, so,
Because how much advancement is there in actual new meters, the hardware meters? I mean, are they?
The meters, the physical part of the meters, like I mentioned before, they're all held to a standard with AWWA standards. Okay, I mean, that's done. It's the technology that makes the difference.
Enhancement, or an add-on?
Yes. How much do we want to help the customer out there? How much do we want to help ourselves? Where do we want to save money at as far as going out and whatnot?
I think we have another option, is just to throw away the transponders and go back to meter reading.
Yeah, you gonna want me to go start reading, man?
We cancel the gym membership.
They pay for it too.
You know where all the meters are at.
There's a couple, yeah, well.
Yeah, you know where they're all at.
Well, for me, I'd like for y'all to go ahead and kind of bring back some recommendations, but before we get too far, we've got to look at some hard numbers of what we are expecting. And then y'all had proposed, cycle 3, I think,
yes.
as an example. But at the same time, I think,
This is in the budget.
no. But then there was also some financial options, so I'd like to get the full presentation from each of them, how they can best help us.
Of course.
And then, we don't want to change, y'all saying 10-year-old meters, but these are lifespan of 20 years.
Yes.
Our existing meters are still half or longer life, so we don't need.
They really don't last as long here because of the environment.
Because of the sand and all of that.
One of the things Ms. Garcia and I have talked about is, like you said, start cycle 3, cycle 2, cycle 1, do all the large meters, that being 2-inch and above. And then the rest, as we have issues, we can start changing them out ourselves.
One more question, on the last page, or the second to the last page you got here, you have an estimated complete cost of the project, 2.8 to 3.5, is that just for the transponders, or is that?
Everything, yes. That's what I heard from several vendors, informal, sort of.
That's an informal number.
Yes, and basically,
It's like an engineer's number, and it's usually always higher.
There you go.
then the contingency.
But if you look at our track record, when we install water lines and whatnot, it's pretty much on the mark or underneath budget, so we kind of hold the feet to the fire, so.
But the big difference, having an implementation of a new system is, as you can see on the presentation, when we installed the Badger, on the first years, there was no changes, because everything was pretty much set up in place, everything was working well. On the last 3 years, we started changing meters, and that's when we are starting having issues with the replacements. And just going kind of like really quickly, as you can see, that the SPI, I think that would be the best choice, at least to start with a phase. And this is something that we can go in 3 years, we don't have to do it right away. But it is true, we don't have a budget from our operating budget already set up for this, but we do have some remaining funds from 2007. So we do have, it's $1 million already from 2007. So when we place in those meters in the district, there was $500,000 that we put, kinda like in savings from, on operating, and another $500,000 in debt service. So that means that we do have $500 million, and then we also can get $500,000 from the remaining funds from operating. So we don't have to get into debt, to get a project like this, that I think that definitely is gonna increase the revenues, it's gonna decrease the cost, and also, it's gonna take off all those issues that we're having with the operating meters, the abnormals, and the zero consumptions.
That's what I want to see.
Just to add real quick, I did talk to one of the other cities that implemented the system. The revenues have gone up. I mean, they noticed that people are calling in, I'm getting a high water bill. Well, we just changed out your 20-year-old meter to a new meter. And it's a new system, so, yeah, you're gonna see the money coming back.
Any kind of a percentage?
Yeah, you need to tell me what the percentage is. And that's because they're not even finished all this.
How
How you doing?
Hey there.
The break room looking good in there.
Yeah.
Fresh flowers to show up. What's up, Bill?
But if you just look on the water loss, I mean, that's another impact that we can have, that, in savings.
That feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, how are you?
Yeah, but I also heard that they lose some sort of accuracy with the years, so I was checking into American Water Works, and they said after 10 years, there's some sort of, water loss.
Yesterday underscored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All these feeders, he's got a hog trap for $125.
And basically the benefit, is with the AMR, everything can be achieved on a month-to-month basis. With the AMI, it's something on demand. You can get it right away, and basically this will give us a more reactive type of proactive customer service instead of reactive.
So y'all mentioned cycle.
It's kind of like, what's this?
Decision later.
Just call me out of the blue. When it works.
Good evening, I'd like to welcome everyone.
He's all right.
Laguna, Madre Water District notice.
The thing is that if we go for competitive biddings with the cycle 3, we can get the numbers, and this is what we're gonna stick on, and make a decision. You'll make a decision. But if we go, let's say that we put the 3 cycles, then the vendors may say like, oh, we're gonna have to rebid or something. Why? Because you're not gonna go for the whole thing right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's better just to do whatever it's wherever you see it, SPI is the best one to do first.
Anybody wants to bid, they want to bid a larger number of items to be more competitive. A lot of times.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Right.
under God, indivisible, with liberty
And
and
also, the thing is that if we, let's say that get a bidding, a competitive bidding on South Padre Island, more than likely we're gonna go with the same vendor, for the next 2 cycles.
So that's your sales pitch.
If we see, an increase in revenues and the decrease on operations and maintenance, of course it's gonna work like that,
I would personally, as one board member, would like to see them figure out meters and transponders,
Thank you, Joel.
through cycles, and a separate bid for
Today's
transponders.
workshop agenda is discussion of AMI meters.
We're gonna do this, we're gonna do it in a 3-year program.
in phases. Okay.
The go out and bid out, cycle 3, then we turn it off for a bid. We might get good, we might get badger, we might get R3.
Okay, we're gonna be discussing the meters project, and, as you remember, most of you, we met on April 29 to see, the need of the meter replacement system.
So the competitive bidding will go with,
We have met with several vendors in looking over the options that we have, and we were trying to look what is it that it was out there, so we requested, the information, the RFI, and on the RFI, what we're saying is like, okay, this is how many meters we have, how much it's gonna cost us. Not everybody provides the cost because it's just an RFI. It's just basically saying what type of quality of meters they can offer. It's about the functions. And just let me know,
Right.
let me tell you that, this is a project that is gonna take from 9 months to a year. It's a, lengthy process, and also it's something that is gonna help us a lot, basically,
Yes.
to increase revenues and decrease operations and maintenance expenses. So far, the main need is because, we have constant issues, which is, unread meters. We're not able to read all the actual meters from the customers. We go there, like, we send the meter readings, but, as of, let's say in the month of, May, 993 meters were not read.
And
And,
you're talking
and
about
that's a lot
averaging a bill.
of meters, that means that we are sending the guys out there a lot. And that's, of course, because there was issues, abnormal readings, that means that the system was not picking up the meter reading.
Not making money.
Exactly, so we have to send the guys over there. And sometimes, we have to, do some sort of maintenance, and sometimes we have to replace the meter. So that's why, this is the main purpose.